Are you somebody who's free to play on Pets Go and want to make a ton of gems? Well, in this video, I'm going to be going over every possible method that will work for you if you are a free to play player in this game, and they will help you earn more gems. Now, of course, in Pets Go, it is really hard to earn gems, and you cannot actually earn gems from just grinding in the game if you are free to play. So in this video, I'm going to be going over every strategy that I believe will benefit you, what strategies are the best in my opinion, and so much more. Anyways, let's get right into the video. By the way, before we continue with this video, if you guys do hear any buzzing sound in the back of the video, that is because my computer is currently on its final legs. It is not working very well, so you guys might hear some buzzing sound in the back of the video. If you would like to help me and support me get a new computer so I can actually record videos without buzzing sounds in the back, feel free to drop a like on this video. It is free and it will help. Anyways, let's continue with this video. So first off, the best method in my opinion as a free-to-play player in order to be earning tons of gems is by grinding in the brand new mining area in Pets Go. First off, how do you mine in this particular area? Well, to start off the game, you will only be given a very cheap wooden pickaxe, which doesn't really do much damage, but you can pretty much start grinding in the very bottom area. Now, of course, you will be earning items like stone and dirt, in which you can use to purchase better items, such as the chests in the merchant up here, and you can buy these chests in which you can open them and get better items. Now, of course, if you grind in these lower areas, you won't be earning anything of significant value, as dirt ore and stone ore don't necessarily get you the best chests, but pretty much when you start off grinding here, you will be able to earn a particular amount of ore that you can use to upgrade the mining upgrade here and get better pickaxes. So as you can see right here, the available pickaxes that you are able to get include stone, bronze, iron, and gold. Now, of course, the more you grind in these particular areas, the more ores you get, as you can probably see on my screen. And you can use those ores to upgrade in the upgrade thing, go up between areas all the way till you get to the very top here, in which you are able to grind this purple ore called obsidian and this blue ore area called runic. Now, using these particular ores in the game, you will be able to purchase these chests inside the merchant, as I previously mentioned, and purchasing these chests will allow you to open them and get some really cool items. Now, some of these items include a scroll or even other chests, such as this particular chest would allow you to get a better chest if you get lucky. Now, the reason why this area grinding will actually earn you tons of gems is because once you get to the top area, while you're able to break the runic ore, you will be able to buy this particular chest, which is currently one of the more expensive ones in the game. Now, of course, there's also going to be a runic chest available here once in a while, and that chest is worth even more than this, but pretty much using these particular chests, you are going to be able to sell them in the trading plaza and earn tons and tons of gems. Now, as an example, currently I have 10 of these runic mining chests, and they're currently worth 85,000 gems each, which, if you don't know how much gems that is, for a game like Pets Go, this is actually quite a lot of gems. Now, of course, I wouldn't recommend opening these particular chests if you don't have that much gems, because if you're able to sell them in the plaza, you can use those gems to make even more gems, especially if you are a free-to-play player in the game. Now, of course, if you do already have a lot of these chests and you make quite a significant amount of gems, but you're seeing that grinding in the game isn't really fast and beneficial to you, what I would recommend is buying the emerald pickaxe that you see me holding in the game. Now, this pickaxe is really cheap and it will make your grinding experience really good in the game, and it will help you maximize on potential ore grinding in the game. As you can see, I currently have a lot of gems, especially from doing this particular method. This is where majority of my profits have been recently, and yes, this is a free-to-play method that will benefit everybody if you guys do it. Now, aside from doing the mining method over there, if you have an auto clicker and you're rolling in the game, you will be getting quite a bit of pets also, which you could pair up while mining in the mining area, and you will be maximizing on your potential opportunities in the game for the maximum chance to make the most gems. Now, unfortunately, without the Diamond Printer Game Pass, you will not be earning as many gems as me. As you can see from rolling in the game, I actually earn a lot of gems. So if you are free to play, you won't be earning this much gems. But using that pet that you do roll, you can sell those in the plaza to make some more gems. Now, the next method that I've previously mentioned in other videos is a method that you can use at the fuse machine. Now, I meant to say pet juicer, not the fuse machine, but pretty much what this method is pretty much you can use these particular pets that you get from rolling and put them into this machine that allows you to get a potion out of it. Now, of course, if you do not have any Game Pass, it will be harder for you to get these particular pets that are above 1 million RNG. And the reason why you want pets that are above 1 million RNG is because they allow you to get this particular potion in the game. Now, as you can see by this potion, there is a wrap on it, and the wrap is significantly higher than a lot of the other potions in the game. Therefore, if you are able to upgrade and get that potion and you sell it in the plaza, you will make a significant amount of gems. Now, this method of getting that particular potion, all you technically have to do in order to do that is by rolling in the game. Now, of course, the mining method, the rolling method, and the fusing or pet juicer method can all be done at the same time, as the game allows you to auto roll and mine at the same time, therefore giving you the opportunity to get better pets, put them in the pet juicer, get those potions, and also get the ores from mining, which is pretty unique in my opinion. Now, this next method is going to not allow you to mine in the mining area, and essentially what it is you go over to this particular area over here, the fishing merchant, and you set up some kind of macro that allows you to buy every single item in this merchant area, and then after you purchase all of them, it sets it over here at the fishing area and starts fishing out chests. Now, of course, you don't necessarily have to set up a macro to keep going back and forth between the merchant area, but pretty much the case is here is when you fish in the game, it will allow you to get these more cheaper chest items, in which I'm going to show you in a second. Now, as you can see on my screen, there are these chests right here called legendary fishing chests, the epic fishing chests, rare fishing chests, and so on. And essentially what they are is when you grind at the fishing area in the game, it will eventually give you these particular chests that you can open and get tons of potions, better chests, and even fruits and other items that will be beneficial to you when you're grinding in the game. In my opinion, this fishing method is not necessarily going to be the best method, but it is one method that I would not disagree with if you ask me about best ways to making gems as a free-to-play, because this method does give you a quite significant amount of those chests that I showed earlier, and using those chests, you can either open them or even sell the ones that are legendary and exclusive in the trading plaza to make yourself some extra gems while grinding in the game. What's cool about fishing in this game currently is there is a brand new mini area that I believe is going to be permanent in the game, and that is going to be the ice fishing area and the huge octopus, or whatever this particular pet is, the corrupt octopus. And this area, I believe, is permanent and gives you some pretty unique items when grinding in the game. Now, of course, you can be fishing in this area also for a chance to get other items. Now, in my opinion, I haven't been able to get that good of an item from this area specifically, as this area only allows you to get the ice fishing chest, and in my opinion, that chest isn't as good as the other ones. Of course, fishing is one of those mini games that won't necessarily earn you a ton of gems from the get-go, but using those particular items you gain from fishing, you will be able to grind in the game better, be more efficient when rolling, and potentially use that as a way to make gems externally. Now, assume that you don't already have any gems. What is another method that will earn you gems in the game as a free-to-play? Well, that is going to require us to enter this area called the Trading Plaza, as many of you are aware of. Now, as you can see by the Trading Plaza, many people have booths with really good items on them, but there are also a significant few that sell cheaper items in which you can take advantage of and purchase from those to make more gems. Now, let's say you had no gems at all. Well, as you can see by people in front of me, they are selling these particular cheap items. It doesn't necessarily have to be a scroll. It could be something as a really cheap pet, such as a pet that does below 100,000 damage or has below 100,000 RNG, whatever you like to call it, and you can sell them for really cheap in the plaza. I'm going to use this pet as an example, and I'm going to sell it for something like 10 gems each, and here's why you want to do this. Now, assume that you can't get gems from any other method, such as the mining method, or you don't prefer to do that. Selling pets for 10 gems on your stand will encourage and entice people to buy it, as it is a very affordable price. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be able to easily sell these items, as most people already have these really low RNG pets, but there are a significant few out there that just purchase every single item that's cheap, especially if they have a lot of extra gems. Now, I like to be helpful in the community once in a while, so whenever I see people giving good deals, such as this, even though necessarily I don't really need the item, I just purchase them anyways to help other players in the game and also give them a bit of gems. Now, as you can see, 266 gems isn't going to necessarily help this guy who has already raised 2.19 million, but for somebody who's new to the game, if you guys see that, you will actually be helping them quite a significant amount, especially as it gives them a Kickstarter in gems in which they could use to earn more. Now, how do I necessarily know that they're going to earn more gems with it? Well, that is a great question. Now, occasionally in the Trading Plaza, there are really generous people who sell items for as low as 1 gem. And yes, this will be very difficult to find, but essentially if you go around the plaza enough, there are people who just want to get rid of certain items, such as like low damage pets, and they sell it for 1 gem. Now, as a free-to-play player who doesn't have much, if you see those opportunities, you can maximize on your chance of making a profit by buying every single item at 1 gem that is possible and using that to make even more. Now, eventually, using this particular method of grinding in the game, you could eventually earn up to about 5 to 10,000 gems, which is the ideal number for a free-to-play player. And using that 5 to 10,000, you can start purchasing items that will actually have pretty significant value in the game, and then you can really start grinding and making a huge profit. Now, as I previously mentioned before, with these particular chests that you get in the game, from grinding in the mining area, you can sell them on your stand for quite a bit of gems. Now, of course, you can also find them in the Trading Plaza for cheap. So if you are somebody who can't grind in the mining area for some particular reason, you can find these chests in the Trading Plaza for below the wrap, probably 1 or 2,000 gems below the wrap if you're lucky, and use that as a way to make more profit by buying them and selling them for more in the plaza. Now, make sure to take into account that the game does have a 1% tax on the stand, so whatever you are doing, especially if you are buying pets to resell, make sure to add that in as your cost of operations when calculating if it's worth it for you to buy it or not. Now, let's say you are buying stuff in the Trading Plaza and you want to resell them in your stand and you don't know how much profit you are making. Well, to calculate how to maximize on potential profits in the game, what you want to do is take the face value of the items you purchase at the cost that you purchased them for, subtract that using this simple addition formula. Now, first off, there is a tax in the game, so what you want to do is calculate the listed price of your item, so how much you are selling it in your stand for, In my case, I'm selling it for 7.69 thousand gems, and pretty much what you want to do is add that onto your calculator. First, what you want to do is take the price of the item that you're selling on your stand and multiply that by 0.99. This will give you the value of how much gems you are expected to receive after the tax on your stand when selling it in the game. Now second, what you want to do is, especially if you're purchasing these items from other people in the plaza, you want to subtract the price you purchased the item for. In this example I'm going to say I purchased these chests for 7,000 gems each. Now after doing that basic formula that I mentioned, which is taking the value you're selling this item for and then multiplying that by 0.99, which will give you the amount you receive from it, using that number that you got, subtract the price that you bought this item for, which is the cost of goods, and that will give you the total amount of profit you are making for each one of those items you purchased. Now in this scenario that I used, if I did the math correctly, this item would only earn me 613 gems in profit if I purchased it for 7,000 gems, and if I sold it at this current price, which is 7.69 thousand. Now let's say you purchased the items at a different price point and you want to calculate how much profit you're making overall. Well, there is two methods that you can necessarily do to calculate that. The first one is by averaging out the cost of purchase, which is the cost of how much you are spending in the plaza to get the inventory you need to sell. The second method is not really simple, and it will only be applicable to people who are an actual accountant, and that is by doing FIFO, which is the first in first out method, which tells you how much you are making for each piece of inventory you are using. Now, assuming that you guys are not all accountants, as that is a very high ranking job, pretty much what FIFO allows you to calculate is when you purchase an item for a certain amount, once that item is sold, that initial inventory of purchase gets eliminated, and then you repeat the process down the line. And I'm not really sure how to explain it properly, but if you are an accountant, you know what FIFO is and you know how to use it. So pretty much, if you want to calculate the average profit you're making, just keep track of how much you're spending on the items you buy. For example, you buy the celestial chest earlier that I mentioned at 7,000 gems on average. So you buy one for 6,800 and you buy the second one for 7,200. Then the average cost of buying will be 7,000 each. Now that will allow you to calculate your average profit, because if you are purchasing them at different times and you're selling at different times, you also want to average how much you're selling the items at. Now that is a lot of technical math that I'm sure many of you guys have a confusing time understanding by my explanation. So if you have any other questions, make sure to ask down below in the comments and I'll explain much more into depth if I can, or other people watching the video will help you. Now let's go back to the main world, as you probably have a good understanding of how to make gems in the trading plaza. Now my final strategy for you to earn gems as a free-to-play player is going to be very simple. Now I explained earlier two methods that you could use to get potions and earn tons of gems by selling items, such as the mining area where you could sell the chests, or grinding in the fishing area, which you could get some other type of chests and sell them for gems. This final method is going to require you to use something like Tiny Task, which is some kind of automatic tool that allows you to purchase items in the game. Now, Tiny Task is definitely one of those tools that are not directly affiliated with Roblox, although I do believe you're able to use it on Pets Go without any complications. And essentially what I'm trying to tell you what to do in order to maximize on this final method in the game is by buying this merchant out every time it restocks. Now, how you want to use Tiny Task is by setting it up to purchase each and every one of these potions whenever they come out. And the reason why you want to purchase each and every one of these potions is because you could use them at the potion crafting machine and pretty much get the better potions such as Insta Luck 3. Using that, you can roll in the game to roll 1 in 100 million RNG pets, for example, and sell those for more gems in the plaza. Now, external tools like Tiny Task will help you do this method, I personally wouldn't recommend this as it's not a really efficient way of making gems. But if this is your final resort for, say, you can't grind in the other areas, or you don't necessarily want to, this is one of those methods that could earn you gems externally. Now, let me explain this method in the easiest possible way I can do that. First, you want to go over to the merchant and have the macro set up to purchase everything. Now, having this on grind AFK, eventually you will have a lot of potions, and what you want to do with those potions is head over to the potion crafting machine, craft them into better potions until you get to insta luck 3, until you get a blazing dice, 1 rainbow dice at least, and 1 golden dice. Now, the reason why you want all 4 of those dices is because there is this combo in the game that you could do in order to get super good pets when rolling. I'm going to quickly show it to you. So, I mentioned that you need 1 insta luck 3, which if I can find it right here, you want to use that potion. You want to also use 1 blazing dice, 1 rainbow dice, and 1 golden dice at minimum. And boom, as you can see at the bottom of my screen, the dice becomes a galaxy color. Now, of course, in order to get more luck and boost in the game, you also want to use your fruits too. And essentially what this is doing is maximizing on the amount of luck you get from rolling in the game. Now that you have maximized this dice, what you want to do is just roll it in the game in order to get these super good items. As you can see on my screen right here, they're all really good. And using those pets, you can sell them in the plaza to make more gems. That is essentially the method right here. Hopefully it's not too complicated to understand, but it is one method that is much more difficult than the first few methods that I mentioned. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but if you want to do it, you can. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, by the way. If you would like to help out the channel, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to become a member on the channel, use the link in the description. And becoming a member allows you to access special videos occasionally and support the channel out so we can make more awesome videos and help more players in a game like Pets Go. Anyways, hopefully you guys got some useful tips out of this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace!